Welcome back to Friggin' Jolene. You can see it's kind of dark this morning. I actually got up way before the sun and headed out. We're heading to Wendover, Nevada, and then come back and meet up at Central Springs where we left off last week. Alright, we made it to Wendover, Nevada. Well, get some fuel in Frig and let the dogs out and stretch your legs. Luana's got a little bit of a fight with Odin. He just wants to run. Been a while since he's been out on a road trip, and he's filling his hopes this morning. Okay, you can see we've turned off the main road. We're going to go down towards Gold Hill, which is classified as a semi-ghost town or something similar. We'll let you know when we get there. Right now we're airing down. We're going to air Frig down to about 16, 18 PSI. Take a look at these easy flight hoses we're using. We can now air down all 4 tires at once, so catch you when we get going. Alright, we're coming into Gold Hill. You see that yellow building off to the right? That is the old mercantile building. We'll take a look at some other buildings that are there, but it's doing okay for a ghost town, I suppose. Once again, we let the dogs out for a short stretch, and of course Odin's going to lose his mind. It's been a long 3 or 4 months since they've been out on the trails. I think they are ready to explore the same as we are. Well, for some reason we lost our audio here. Basically what we're doing is talking to each other, trying to look at the map and see where we're going. We can go back to the main road, or we can take the back way over to the Pony Express Trail. Either way, we get it on the trail again. So we were deciding, I guess, we're going to take the back way.
Okay, so we're right now at Canyon Station. So as you can see with the sign, we'll go over here. Let's see what these say. So we have the crowds cheered on. So in 1845, it took 6 months to get a message from the east coast of the United States to California. By the time it arrived, the news was old. In the late 1850s, 500,000 people had migrated west, and they wanted to update up-to-date news from home. This one is atrocities and hostilities. So American Indians inhabited lands along the Pony Express Trail for thousands of years before the pony began its historic run. This one is eyewitness accounts, stories of solitary Pony Express riders valiantly galloping through the western frontier still inspire people around the world. Publishers and editors during the 1860s often developed romanticized tales of the Wild West. Eyewitness accounts paint a more accurate picture of frontier history. So that's just some of the things here that they have. If you ever come out this way, I do suggest you do the Pony Express Trail. And over here, we have part of the station house. As you can see, it's not very big, still very small, but not much is left to it.
Alright, we made it to Boyd Station. We're going to take a quick look, let the dogs out, give them a bit of water. Going to make us a sandwich and have a bit of lunch. Then we're going to be back on the road. Time sure flies when you're having fun. welcome to Riverbend Station. Again, there's not a whole lot here. Seems like some of these stations that are out in the middle of the Pony Express route, they did nothing much more than just put up a monument and a sign. I believe probably a lot of the buildings and infrastructure at the time was probably tore down, but on we go. Alright, this Black Rock station. You can see there's not much at all other than this monument that's left. Not even any remnants. I'm assuming that they've pulled some of the stuff out, reused it. You can definitely see why they call it Black Rock Station. Look at the rock filled out here. You just barely make these wild horses out. I telephoto on this camera isn't good enough. Once I get more subscribers, I'll get a better camera. But I did.
The binoculars, you can see them.
Yep. In the binoculars, they are fanned out just as pretty as can be. Alright, here we are at Riverbend. Pretty much like the last few stations we've visited. Nothing except the sign and the monument. Just like the interior of the trail just didn't warrant any kind of special treatment. Okay, we're back to the ending point of last week's video. Just wanted you to take a look. We did some further research and found out this building is actually a replica of what was originally standing. That's where that gentleman got the stones to make his wife a cabin that she never got to live in. But just a correction, this is a replica, but it's still pretty well built.
Okay, so we've got some antelope out here.
Well, thanks for joining us on this adventure today. Been a pretty long day for us, maybe not quite so for you, but I want you to be aware that we do appreciate your watching, taking the time. Please like and subscribe. It'll help us immensely. The trails you take today become tomorrow's memories. Remember, tread lightly.